Hey iPhone 15, hope you're enjoying the spotlight even though we have the same chip. I have 3 cameras, but who's counting, right? Everyone is disgusted by lightning now, I guess. You may be the fun new phone with all the pretty colors, but remember where you came from.
Here is the iPhone 15. This is a Plus, and the clip that you're watching right now is being shot on a regular 15. They both got the same camera systems all around. And yeah, it's been a few weeks that I've been using the 15. I actually just covered the 15 Pro and Pro Max, so if you want to check the video out on that, I'll link it up here and down below. But now I thought it's time to see what the iPhone 15 is all about. So honestly, I kind of have some mixed feelings on the 15. First of all, let's talk about this color. I love the pink. All of the colors on the 15 are just simple, but there's a pop of color there, and I really wish that these colors were on the Pro lineup as well, or that the Pro lineup was just more, I guess, exciting with the colors. Alternatively, it kind of just has me wishing that there was just one solid phone all around, 2 sizes, more colors of course, including the pink, because the 15 really just is a 14 Pro, like the S's of a 14 Pro. You lose a couple of things, like the extra lens and the always on display, but you have the dynamic island on here, the same chip. You do get USB-C on here, although it is limited to 2.0, which is why it would be nice if the Pro was just the one model to get. Whether they call it Pro or not, it would be nice if it was just one phone, 2 different sizes. That being said, it is still a really great phone, and you do save a couple $100 picking this up. So if that price gap isn't enough of a difference to justify the Pro, then I can see where it makes sense. So the camera system on here is not as versatile as the 15 Pro and Pro Max, but we still get a lot on here. Basically the same things that we got on last year's 14, we get on this year's 15, with a little bit of a camera upgrade all around. We have the front-facing 12 megapixel, and on the rear, we have that 12 megapixel ultra wide and the 48 megapixel main wide camera that you can also do a 2x digital zoom at. What you were just watching was cinematic video, and this is regular front-facing 4K 24 video on the selfie camera, looking pretty good. Honestly, the past few years I've been really happy with the iPhone's camera, and it's a camera that I can easily mix into my videos. If I'm shooting on my Sony cameras, iPhone footage always just looks great with it alongside. So I've been really happy with it, but I've been really testing these cameras and putting it to work with all different types of photos. And as you can see, this video is clearly a pumpkin theme. We went to a pumpkin rock. I also went to a pumpkin patch. Lots of pumpkins, but the photos did really great all around. So it's been a few days, and I just want to dive into some of the stuff that I've shot so far with these phones, mostly on the Plus. And again, whether you pick up the 15 or 15 Plus, you're gonna get the same camera system all around, which, as you may know, is not true for the 15 Pro and Pro Max. With the Pro Max, we do have that 120mm 5x telephoto lens, whereas on the Pro, we get that 3x 77. So there is a difference there with the Pros, but not with these. Now, most of the photos that I've shot so far are 24 megapixel photos, but if you do want that max resolution, all you gotta do is go into your camera settings, under formats, toggle on resolution control, and now you get that max resolution up to 48 megapixels. So now when you go into the camera app, it is right there on the top, the HEIF Max. You just toggle that on. And when you take a photo now, as you can see, that photo is 48 megapixels. Let's hop into the camera roll, starting with some lovely pumpkin patch photos where I really got a good idea of the camera this day because we did a little bit of everything. Starting with the ultra wide camera, which, as you guys may know, is probably my favorite camera on any phone because you can get really creative with your photos. I just really love the look that we get with ultra wide photos. And these did not disappoint. Zooming in, we still get a good amount of detail even for the ultra wide camera on here. I mean, I'm really zooming in, and yeah, you can see a lot. This is another ultra wide shot of myself, and I just really love the amount of detail that we still get in those darker areas. That's something that I always check for. We also have that main 1x wide camera shot here, looking great, and we did 2x as well, which I really love to see the amount of detail that we still get here, even, you know, knowing that the main wide camera gives us the most amount. When we zoom into like the pumpkin, you can really see all of that detail there. Everything looks great there, but when we go to the 2x, we still get that just as well. Switching over to portrait mode with this same scene, I mean, it does a fantastic job here, especially with everything that's going on in this photo, because we have, you know, me as the subject, but also everything that's going on in the foreground, the leaves, the pumpkins, and then it just gradually shows that depth in the back. I mean, you can change the look of it and make it more extreme, but this is just like a subtleness. But if we go here, we can make that even more extreme. But I love the, you know, the default f4.5. That is where it's at. And we also got to shout out the new portrait controls here that we get with iOS 17. I can change the focus point of the photo. We'll keep it on me. And this one, it won't be as extreme at that 4.5, but if we do this, you can see the difference here. Yeah, I get all blurred out versus me nice and in focus. Love that. We're gonna switch things over to the selfie camera here. I went into the little pumpkin casita. So it was a little bit lower light in there, but I mean, wow, the camera still brings in that light so nicely. And this is a portrait shot, or a regular selfie that I switched to portrait. So we can do portrait off to see what that selfie was originally. Love to see it. We love our pumpkins there, but I really love the look of that portrait on. By the way, if you love to take your selfies, this really did step up the selfie game here, because you're not limited to that close-up portrait selfie anymore. You know, when you take a portrait selfie, it just gives you that one option, but now you can just take a regular selfie and do like the wider angle option and get this portrait control after you shoot the photo and still keep that live photo data. So this is what I was talking about. It's still a live photo even after you switch it. Or another thing, another iOS 17 thing, is make a little sticker out of it. Why not? Ooh, I absolutely love this flower shot here. So this is just a photo that I took with the main wide camera. It's not a portrait mode picture or anything. It's just naturally adding that depth from the camera, and it looks so good. And we don't get like macro photos with the 15 or 15 plus, but I mean, you can still get really close to your subject and get really nice looking photos like this. Random photo here of some of my friends. Just kidding. The leaves, like there is a lot of foliage going on and everything's just so like still there. Like if you zoom in, you get these crazy looking leaves, and if you zoom into here, there's another type of leaf. You can still see all the different leaves. What are these? These little orange mums maybe? I love me a mum. This is another lovely flower shot that I absolutely love, and I got it in all the different camera angles here. But right here we have just the main wide camera. It's backlit and the colors are still coming through so strong. And again, that natural depth that we get with the main wide camera is so good here. We also have an ultra wide photo, which, wow, again, this is why I love that camera so much. Like it's a different type of shot. It's less depth. It just looks great. Now this is a 2x photo and we still get such good detail here. Now this shot doesn't even need any edits because the colors and everything looks so great as is. But if I wanted to add a little, maybe a little pop of shadow, little change, just to make it pop a little more, that just gives you a good idea of what you can do with these photos, even with a 2x shot. Oh my gosh. Like, I love that. And I also love the way that you can extend photos. Here is a lovely 2x shot of this Ferris wheel. Even as the sun starts to set even more, probably would just go in and give it a little pop of like maybe vibrancy and saturation. There's our photo. There's a nice little Ferris wheel photo, which can easily be a background. Why am I making all of my photos backgrounds? Wow, I love this wallpaper. Video is really coming through here as well on 2x. Like the video looks just as good as that photo. Pumpkins, we finally got to pick the pumpkin, picking the pumpkin part of the pumpkin patch. You can really see nice detail in these photos. The orange come through. Love a good pumpkin photo. This is the ultra wide pumpkin photo and a nice 2x. You can take some great wallpaper photos with a 2x camera on iPhone 15 and 15 Plus. Like, the pumpkin rock photos that I got, guys. So good. Like, look at this pop of color here. So this was more daylight than the pumpkin patch dates. This was more bright in the day, up on the mountain, sunny photos, and the colors really, really come through here. Like the orange of the pumpkin against the bright, clean blue sky. Let's add that sticker. I love stickers. Now, like I said before, there is no macro mode on the 15 or 15 Plus, but you can still get really close to your subject. Like here, I got really close to the pumpkin rock and found a spook. It pretty much looks like a macro shot. Now with these next photos, this is definitely a good photo hack to know. Even not having a true telephoto camera on here, we have that 2x option. You can still get a telephoto looking shot where that background becomes really prominent. So if you have a subject, play around with this camera because it just makes the photo look even that much more stunning when the background is like really in your face here. And of course, with our portrait controls now, it just adds even more to the shot. It makes it look like a photo that wasn't even shot on a phone. Beyond the camera, iOS 17 in itself really adds to the whole phone experience here on the 15. And I saw this with the 15 Pro. And again, with the 15, like you really do take full advantage of all these software updates with these new phones. But even if you're not picking up a new iPhone 15 or 15 Pro or Pro Max, you can still get a lot of these new features just by updating the phone that you're on right now. So that's been my experience with the iPhone 15 lineup. As you can see, I've had a lot of fun with these phones, especially with the camera. It's nice to know that even though they're not the Pro phones, you can still do a lot of Pro level things with these cameras, and there's a lot of flexibility that we still get. Let me know in the comments if you guys are thinking of getting one of these, and if you have, what color did you go with? Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and hasta luego.